here, talk about how my day's going. This is kind of my typical day. I'll start with yesterday. This is my typical life. It's a shit show. So I haven't seen my children since October, and they have not wanted to see me, and they blocked me because, well, I'll get into it another time, but they have good reason to.
In 2 miles, take exit 230 onto US 290 West and State Highway 71 toward Johnson City.
I was doing the best I could with the level of consciousness I had at the time. I'll say that. But it did negatively impact them. So, but anyway, I had hoped that if I showed up, I've been calling them and leaving them messages, and I had hoped if I showed up on Mother's Day that they would talk to me, at least, and then, because if I can't talk to them, if they won't talk to me, then we can't resolve it, eventually I guess they'll do it their own self, but I know typically if I can have a conversation with somebody, then we can come to some kind of agreement, or there's at least the possibility of a perspective shift there. And but that didn't happen. So I grabbed some of my stuff, because all my stuff was still at my ex-husband's house. So I grabbed clothes, shoes. I still couldn't find my drum, and I couldn't find I didn't want to dig through any of the stuff because he wasn't there. But I grabbed clothes and shoes and my essential oils, because that's key, and diffuser, and I grabbed a couple of my canvases, but I didn't grab my paints. But anywho, and then I'm in Austin, so I'm in Austin, and I did a call today, and well, I guess I'll tell you why they're mad at me, because even though I had decided to leave, that I had to leave my ex-husband.
Take exit 230 onto US 290 West and State Highway 71 toward Johnson City. Then keep right to merge onto US 290 West toward Johnson City.
I decided I had to leave in February last year, but I didn't actually do it.
Use the right lane to keep right to merge onto US 290 West toward Johnson City.
File until August, I think. But anywho, but sometime in July,
keep right,
starts messaging me, and I had already had the conversation with my ex-husband. I had already had the conversation with my parents. I had already had the conversation with our children. It had already been decided, and I hadn't filed paperwork though, and I was still working on the relationship because, I know that everything that was going on between the two of us was also part of my doing, and I had to figure out that part, my role in that, so that I don't repeat it, right? All the toxic interactions, really, energetic interactions that go on, or there are two people in each interaction, right? At least two. And I only could have control over my part. So if I fix my part, then I'm I'm not attracting that other player in the game. So
stay in the left 3 lanes.
So anyway, in July, this guy starts messaging.
In 1.3 miles, take the exit toward Manchac Road and Pack Saddle Pass.
Out of the blue, and we just really got along, and part of it was probably just the really bad timing, I'm sure. I was going through a divorce, the emotions of it anyway, if not the legal part. And So it was bad timing, you know. I was like not standing on my own 2 feet so much, you know, or at least not very well balanced. And that may have been part of the, I mean, again, I'm going to say we're all doing the best we can with the level of consciousness we have at the time. So not that I can't say that he had ill intentions. I don't know what his intentions were. But I think again, I'll say we're all doing the best we can with the level of consciousness we have at the time. So,
take the exit toward Manchac Road and Pack Saddle Pass.
Great. Hold on, I'm driving too. Oh, we'll see if I'm driving. Hold on, let me navigate this.
At the next light, turn right.
So, let's see, where was I? So, I talk about dynamic.
At the light, turn right onto Menchaca Road.
So, it's like a virtual relationship. There's not any kind of, like, I've never met the guy in person. Or even had, like, a video chat. Or even a phone chat. Okay? So, it's so bizarre. Now, how did I do this? I have to say...
In about 1 mile, turn right into the parking lot.
Definitely, I would say some temporary insanity, although, like, the spiritual journey, the whole thing feels like temporary insanity. But also, part of it is you're relying on not these 2 eyes, you're relying on your 3rd eye. And that's part of what you're learning in the whole journey. Oh my goodness. And, but anyway, so that me talking to this guy, even though it's like just chatting online, you know, but my kids can tell that there's been like this energetic shift, like, you know, my energy is less invested in them, right? And when it should have been invested in me and my healing and my growth and my, you know, recovery process, I was investing it in this guy, this random guy instead. And so that's what they're mad at me about, which is understandable. I mean, I can't say that I've ever been in that. Well, I mean, I have been in a situation where
Turn right into the parking lot, then arrive at your destination.
Okay, let me turn off these directions for a second.
Arrived.
Let me go turn off these directions. Okay, back. I have actually, you know, it is, now that I say that, that is actually a similar energy of what I grew up with, of the knowing that my well-being was not, and I know my mother's going to disagree with this, and you know, that's because her experience of it is different than mine. But I guarantee you, this is an ancestral trauma thing. Now that I say that, now I can heal it, right? Because, turn on these wipers. Did that noise drive y'all nuts? So the ancestral trauma bit is that and this is from my perception from being a child, and I'll correlate it to my children too, and then I'll do Ho'oponopono for it. You'll see my process, okay? So the situation is currently being presented to me in my life so that I can, with my children, feeling And I'm not saying that their feelings are, I'm validating their feelings. They feel abandoned because I chose this man over them. Okay. And that I understand if that's triggering to people. This is how I process it, you know, like I've already felt all the feelings around it for, you know, I've healed because I was, or my experience as a child was that I was trafficked and, kind of, you know, that my body and my energy was exploited for attention for my mother because she, whatever, I'm not gonna assume how she felt, but that's an ancestral thing. She probably felt the same way with her mother and her mother and her mother and her mother. This is an ancestral thing, so it's not like it's a pattern of behavior. It's a subconscious, it's like a curse, really, almost. And it's not like an intentional thing, but this is how we become conscious of these things and rewrite them and heal them for our ancestral line. So I'm seeing it because I did this to my but also I did do it to my children, but also I did it to myself. And also, I'm taking responsibility for it, because you can't change and you can't heal anything you don't take responsibility for. So, but you do have to feel the feelings for it, and I have done that, believe me, or else they would just be like waterworks, like crazy, because that's how I feel it. Everything I feel is like the waterworks, like crazy. I mean, everything, like watching birds play, it's kind of ridiculous. My kids like laugh. They're like, oh my gosh, you're doing it again. Anywho, so now that I can see that pattern and how I'm repeating it and it's how it's showing up in my life, then I can do Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry to my children, obviously, and to my mother, because, you know, I'm not trying to call her out, because I know that she's doing the best that she could, you know, and it was her role to show me this pattern so that I could repeat the pattern, so that I can become conscious of it and heal it, you know. And so I kind of feel like I was the mastermind in all this. And the thing is, we are the mastermind in our own life. We're creating it, and to learn all this stuff. So anywho, so I'm sorry, and I'm sorry for anyone who's been through that, you know, for real. And actually, you know what? I heal for the collective, so we're doing the healing for the whole collective right now for child trafficking or human trafficking or any kind of human trading, we'll say. You know, let's see how big we can make it to heal it. And then, I'm sorry, please forgive me, right? For perpetuating this cycle and you know, yeah, because I know how hurtful it is. I know how hurtful it was to me as a child and as an adult, because it happened to me as an adult too. And please forgive me. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. I mean, I love them all, you know, all the people. Obviously, I love my children, and I love my mother, and I love all the people who knowingly or unknowingly were involved in my trafficking and abuse. And thank you for allowing me to see this. And I'm particularly grateful to my children, because they've taught me, and they've taught me everything, and they have mirrored all my pain to me so that I could heal it. And they've mirrored so much of the collective pain so that I could heal it. And they shouldn't have had to, but they did. And my ex-husband, and my parents, and my siblings, both living and dead, and my family members. I just lost another cousin, or a cousin, on Friday. So, yeah, that's how you heal stuff on the quantum level. It's not as complicated as it seems, you know. It's pretty simple, but it's not easy. It's simple, but not easy. And, yeah, I guess that's it. This is, I guess this is going to be my first, like, really intentional YouTube video. And I guess I'll do more like this, you know, with like I've been healing for the collective, doing this stuff for, I mean, really my whole life, 49 and a half plus years. And, well, really, I've been doing it for lifetimes, but, anyway, I'll say I have an offer. If you want to work with me, you can, let's see, I'll put my link tree in the bio. You can book on Calendly. I do one-on-one. I'll do groups. I'll do speaking engagements, and what else? You can just do prayer requests. I have a, you can send me on my, you can send me like prayer requests or like through PayPal or Cash App, and I'll pray for you, you know, just donation based, whatever you want to donate, or you can book a one-on-one on my Calendly app. I mean, Calendly link, whatever. Let's see, what's my, I mean, you find me on Instagram. It's Lisa_S_Williams. You can find me on Facebook. I think it's Lisa Smith Williams. And just, you know, follow along. I post like just anything that like makes me feel something. I'll post it because I'm like that it moves energy. If I feel something, I know energy's moving for me, and if energy's moving for me, it's probably gonna move energy for other people, and that's always like a healing thing. So and that's like spiritual, mental, physical, energetic. I mean, it's soul healing, so it's mind, body, and spirit. And yep. Oh, here's another one that I found today. Is that my father used to listen to, who that's kind of, you know, I mean, I just had, my experience of childhood was a lot of abuse, and I understand that's not my parents' perspective of it, and that's fine, you know, but I'm not gonna tell my inner child that she didn't experience the things that she felt like she experienced, you know. Like, I understand they had a different experience, and that's okay. I don't need them to validate my experience for me to be, I can parent my inner child, you know. Like, it's okay that they don't believe it happened. I don't need them to believe it happened to me, or for me, really, you know. I don't need them to validate my experience for it to be valid. And when you get to that point, it's like really, really great. You know, you really just don't give a, it doesn't matter what other people say, you know, because I know that there will always be people that will say, you know, that I'm crazy, and that's okay, you know, because if you don't want to heal, I can't make you heal. And if you are that committed to being miserable, then, you know, you get to keep every limitation you fight for. And if I'm crazy, then I'm much happier being crazy than I ever was being sane. Because that included, you know, all these medications and all, you know, like that was not living. That was like just freaking staying alive. It was not living. Anywho, yeah, I just keep going on and on. Yeah, so anyway, my father used to listen to these and make me listen to them in the car, these Tony Robbins tapes when I was a kid, and used to always tell me how wrong this was, you know, like how it was like a correction thing. It was like, you know, you should do it this way and you should do it that way. And I was just like, look, I'm figuring this stuff out. And I felt like it was unfair to compare me to Tony Robbins at, I don't know, 10 years old. But really, that was probably me comparing myself to him, so I was very angry about that. Felt like, you know, like, and so I realized I had like maybe this little bit of resentment, and so I had to kind of uncreate that. But anyway, I think that's created some friction in my life. So anyway, I love you all. Have a wonderful, well, today's Monday here, and it's rainy, but it's still a good day. All right, take care. Yeah, click the subscribe and follow along, please.